Georgia Carrollton, now an Odyssey station.
Live from Carrollton, Georgia, this is Sports Pack.
The only place you need to go for West Georgia sports.
Interviews with all your favorite UWG athletes and so much more.
Keeping you up to date with the NFL, NBA, MLB, and everything in between. If you want it, we got it.
I mean, plain and simple, the worst decision Kalen DeBoer has ever made is taking the head coaching position at Alabama.
I wholeheartedly believe that behind Sean Payton and a second-year Bo Nix, the Denver Broncos can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs and be the AFC West champions.
We're also giving you a platform to have your voice heard with our all-new live call-in segment.
So where else would you want to go? We've got all you need and more right here on Sports Pack. What is up, everybody? And welcome to another fantastic Monday edition of Sports Pack. I'm your host, Richard Reed, joined today by Cadence Grieven.
Hello, hello, hello.
I won't say Keyshawn Ward. Orlando Odom.
What's up, guys?
And my guy, Ryan Kroger, with Daniel Chaney behind the TriCaster controlling these outstanding cameras for us. We have a jam-packed show as usual. Of course, we're going to recap the Elite Eight and talk about that amazing shot that just sent the UConn Huskies to their, third Final Four in the past 4 years.
It was impressive.
And then we're going to dive into a little bit of NFL because does the season ever really end? Got a lot of NBA to talk about. And we also have to recap MLB opening weekend. But before we get started, I must remind you that the biggest concert series in the history of the University of West Georgia is only a week away. Wolfstock 2026 is here Thursday, April 9th from 6 to 9 p.m. in the Campus Center Ballroom. You do not want to miss out. Wolfstock will have live music, food, and games, and so much more for you to get in on the action. Have a great time, make some new friends, have a great time with your current UWG friends, and win tons of prizes. Wolfstock 2026 is brought to you by Monster Energy, Westwoods Apartments, Dine West, Flagship Carrollton, Illuminated Productions, and Osier Apparel. Once again, come out to Wolfstock 2026, April 9th from 6 to 9 p.m. Thursday, April 9th, that is, from 6 to 9 p.m. Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are also proud to boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive. Our ongoing book drive will provide a new or gently used book to every child at UWG's pre-K monthly. Give today by visiting the wolfUWG.com/book drive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. That is the wolfUWG.com/book drive. Now, Ryan, how about the Wolves?
Is wide and rolls to the right. He's got some time. Everybody's down at the end zone. He heaves it. And it is caught for a touchdown.
We are one. Go Wolves.
You know, it is the heart of spring. We're all going to be clearing our throats and sniffling a lot because it's just that time of year. Pollen is on full display. But there's some beautiful things that also comes along with spring, Ryan. And that's baseball season.
Oh, yes.
And our West Georgia baseball team, despite the struggles, found a way to win another ASUN Conference series this past weekend. And we really talked about this ad nauseum last show. Despite losing these non-conference games, our Wolves have been winning the ones that matter, and those are the ASUN Conference games. This past weekend, we were on the road in Charlotte, North Carolina, taking on Queens University of Charlotte, winning the first game of the three-game series 10-9, going back Saturday afternoon and winning the second game 7-1, and then falling short in a barn burner early Sunday afternoon, losing that game 9-8. But Ryan, that's another series win.
Yeah, that is another series win. Great job by the Wolves, especially there against a Queens team that's basically in the same boat as us. You know, they're 6-19, we're 7-19, but, you know, doing decent in ASUN. I get Queens is 2-5, but we're both in those same similarity records. So it's a good job going, get the job done. You know, they did what we wanted them to do when they had good innings, they had good pitching. So that's exactly what we wanted them to do, and they totally did that.
Yeah, 100%. It was a good win for the Wolves. I mean, very much needed. We talked about it last show. We just want to see some consistency. I think we saw a little bit of consistency from them. I mean, they had 10 runs, 7 runs, 8 runs. You know, that's consistency
on fire.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that is really good consistency from the hitting standpoint. I mean, pitching, second game only held them to 1 run. So, I mean, finally we're starting to see some type of consistency. I just hope that they can carry into moving forward.
And especially after the beginning of the season that we had with loss after loss after loss, I feel like it finally clicked and the guys are starting to get their way out, especially in this conference play, which is when it really matters. And you can definitely tell that the energy is just picking up, and just going to these games and just seeing like that they want the conference more than just the regular games.
Right. These conference games are massive right now. Not only because it's conference play, of course, it's very important. Every single program across the country, whether it's football, basketball, softball, whatever it may be, they all value these in-conference games. But for us, a young Division I program, a program that still can't qualify for postseason play without sending in waivers to the NCAA, conference play is everything. Now this is lofty, sure, but winning a conference championship is the magnum opus for every team right now. It is our national championship. It is what this team is playing for. So going out, losing those other games, losing to Georgia State, losing to Mercer, losing to UGA, using Georgia Tech, yes, it hurts. But honestly, that's not what we're playing for anyway. We're a brand new Division I program. It is just our second year, and we're going out and beating teams in our conferences in these series. I am very proud of this team. They're continuing to battle and fight hard despite what's going on throughout this season. And honestly, they're making a lifelong fan out of me. I already was, but the way they've responded to all this adversity and still going out there and putting their best foot forward, I am loving it. Go ahead.
And I think it really helps, especially with the baseball team, that we had the number one strengths of schedule in the ASUN.
Oh, yeah.
We went against all these big teams, Georgia Tech, you said it, Georgia State. That's helped us be successful in the ASUN conference. Now we're not, I'm not going to say these teams aren't good, but they're just not as good as Georgia
right.
Tech, obviously.
We played the University of Tennessee this year.
Exactly.
We played
Auburn.
Almost beat Auburn.
Literally almost beat Auburn. You're right. Those are kind of like ASUN conference games compared to those games. It's like going down a peg.
Yeah, so it definitely helps, especially with that number one strength of schedule. If we even look nationally, our strength of schedule is in the top 100. So it's amazing that even though we lost so many games at the beginning of the season, having that happen to us is helping us in the ASUN conference.
I think you're right 100%, and looking forward throughout the rest of the remaining week of games coming up. We have a nice little 4-game homestand. Starting tomorrow night at 5 p.m., Samford University will be coming right here to Cole Field to take on our Wolves. Let's see if we can keep this hot streak going. And then the end of this week, more ASUN conference play with Florida Gulf Coast University coming into town. The first game will be this Thursday, April 2nd at 6 p.m. Second game of the 3-game series will be Friday at 2 p.m. And the third game will be Saturday at 11 a.m. right here in the City of Dreams, Carrollton, Georgia. Plenty of time to pull up and cheer, plenty of opportunities, I should say, to pull up and cheer on our West Georgia Wolves team as they are really looking to start to get things together in conference play. Going to the other side of the other side's diamond, I should say, our softball team had a rough weekend this past weekend.
Yeah.
Losing all 3 games in a 3-game series on the road versus Jacksonville University. Losing the first game 11-2. Second game was more competitive Friday afternoon, losing 11-8, and then losing on Sunday 2-0. Cadence, I want to start with you here. What do you think about this past weekend for the softball team?
I feel like there must have been something that just wasn't clicking, or that this Jacksonville team just came out and just blew our socks off, because apparently the past 4 or 5 games we just haven't won. And I don't know if something's not clicking or if this team just isn't performing at the level that they know they can. But I know that they were winning a few games at the beginning of the season, and then it just seems like we've kind of just dipped off. And I don't know if it's laziness or tiredness or what is it, but I really feel like these girls can lock in again and really get those wins back up, because especially in season and in conference, it's really important to build that up.
It's very important. 3-6 in conference play right now, 11-25 overall.
Here's what I'm seeing, especially when you go look at the schedule. You get to this middle part of the season, and it's tough. It's one of the toughest parts of the season, because you're in this area where it's almost just like blah. There's not much going on.
It can definitely get that
You're
way.
starting conference play, but you're also in the middle of conference play. So, we came off that loss to Queens. Then we went to Georgia Tech, lost 9-0. And then I guess the scouting report wasn't what they thought of Jacksonville. I'm not going to say they should have won or shouldn't have won, but, they kept it close after that first game. They learned from that first game after the 11-2 loss, going 11-8, and then the next day 2-0. So they learned from the loss, which is a big thing for this softball team, and it's a positive in a way when you look at this 3-game loss in this 5-game skid.
I also think. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, kid. Go ahead.
I was going to say we've played Jacksonville before and we've beat them. Like in the last series we played against them in the ASUN, we won 4-3 and then we won 4-1.
Yep.
So I just didn't know if Jacksonville was coming back for revenge and they really wanted the win more or what it was. But I just feel like we weren't expecting it.
Yeah, I just think they're on a really rough side of a cold streak here. I mean, they've lost their last 5 games. I mean, and they're giving up 11 runs, 9 runs, 10 runs. I mean, that's not winning softball at all. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you can, bat the ball. You can't give up 10, 11 runs each game. So, I mean, it just kind of goes back to what we talked about last time with, like, the bullpen issues. And it just seems to be a struggle all around right now for the Wolves.
Yeah, and it really is. And like Ryan kind of mentioned a second ago, it's a very long season. And sometimes you're going to have these little moments in the middle of your schedule, sometimes early on, like we saw at our baseball team, where nothing seems to be going right. For some reason, you just can't throw a strike. For some reason, you just can't get the bats going. Everything just seems to be going wrong. What I'm looking for from the softball team is to see how they're going to respond to this. Because like you said, Cadence, they just lost all 3 games to a Jacksonville team that we just won a series against earlier this season. Mm-hmm. A team that they know they are better than.
Yeah.
It's just about how do they respond. And this is why coaches make the big bucks on every single level. Coaching is extremely important in moments like this. How do you keep your team motivated? How do you get them to respond the right way to this sort of adversity? And we're going to learn a lot about this West Georgia Wolves softball team, but the coaching staff as well, with how they work to motivate their players to get them through this moment, because the season's not over. Like I said, it's the same thing with this baseball team. It's also their second year as a Division I program. All of our programs are in their second year. The football's third year, looming. How do you respond? Responding to these type of moments is what defines you as players, coaches, and the program, and I'm extremely excited to see how they do that. Now, before we move out of this segment, I do want to mention that the UWG Legends Invitational Track Meet is this weekend. April 3rd, this Friday, and April 4th, this Saturday. It is a 2-day event. Be sure to show up and show out because this is your one time to see our track and field athletes compete on the Division I level right here at the University of West Georgia. We only have one chance to watch them every single year. So be sure to pull up this Friday and Saturday. Bring your lawn chairs. Bring a cooler. I mean, don't have nothing too crazy in the cooler. You cannot have alcoholic drinks on campus. But, set up. Bring your friends. Bring your family.
Shirley Temple would be good.
A nice Shirley Temple. Ryan, this is why you sit next to me. This is why we keep you right here. So, yeah, bring your stuff, post up, relax, and enjoy some UWG track and field competition. That is this Friday and Saturday, the UWG Legends Invitational. And next Thursday, be sure to join us at the Campus Center for Wolfstock 2026. That is Thursday, April 9th from 6 to 9 p.m. in the Campus Center Ballroom. A night packed with food, games, and live music. Do not miss out on your only chance this semester to enjoy one of the biggest concert events of the semester, featuring performances from your UWG's own very talented artists. This is a night you do not want to miss. Bring your friends. Bring your family, bring your vibe if you want to, and experience the hottest concert on campus. This is Wolfstock 2026, brought to you by Monster Energy, Westwoods Apartments, Dine West, Flagship Carrollton, Illuminated Productions, and Osier Apparel. Now don't go anywhere, because when we return, we're diving into what was an insane Elite Eight and letting you know everything you need to know going into the rest of this week of March Madness. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
Attention. Everybody cancel your plans for April 9th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right now.
Because Wolfstock 2026 is happening in the Campus Center with fun games, awesome food and prizes, and only the best music. On top of all that, Monster Energy is giving out free samples to everyone at Wolfstock. You do not want to miss an opportunity like this. And the best part, you don't even have to be a student. So bring your family, friends, and tell everybody you know that Wolfstock 2026 is happening April 9th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. But this event couldn't happen without our sponsors. Dine West, American Pie Pizzeria, Flagship Carrollton, Westwoods Apartments, Osier Apparel, Illuminated Productions. This free event is brought to you by Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here. Wait a minute. Is this what I think it is? Wii Sports? Let's try something. Let me tell you all about this show on Wolf Sports Network. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. It's the playbook. Hear us talk about all of college football, basketball, and baseball. Mondays from 9 to 10 p.m. The Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
What's up? This is Parker Andell, and I'm the newest voice of Sports Out of Pocket. Step into Lucky Season 7, where the odds are in our favor. Crazy insights, hidden stories, and conversations that will pay off every single time. With a fresh season and a fresh voice, Lucky Sevens is here. Tune in to Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Hey, you!
Who, me?
Yeah, you! Do you like talking about sports?
Yeah?
Well, do we have an opportunity for you?
You can be a part of Wolf Sports Network today through our Wolves in Training program.
This semester-long course will teach you everything you need to know about college radio.
You can gain experience and be live on air by next semester.
So join today by visiting wolfsportsnetwork.com. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here. Loud, intense, and unpredictable. This is college basketball. Are you ready?
Unpredictable is definitely the word of the day, because after a massive first half where the Duke Blue Devils went into it up 44-29, pretty much everybody was starting to preview the Final Four matchup of the Duke Blue Devils and the Illinois Fighting Illini. But not so fast, my friend. Things change very, very fast in this sport as UConn outscored the Duke Blue Devils 44-28 in the second half. And after an amazing buzzer beater, just about half-court three-pointer from Braylon Mullins, they secured the victory, taking down the one-seeded Duke Blue Devils 73-72 and advancing to the Final Four of what has been an incredible March Madness tournament. Noah, welcome onto the show. Glad to have you.
Yes,
Orlando,
thank you.
I want to start with you.
Man.
What was your reaction to this UConn Huskies victory?
Poor Duke. I mean, you lose last year in the Final Four against Houston, and then this year you just get another crushing loss. I know Caden Boozer is absolutely just hurting himself because all he had to do was just hold the ball. Just hold the ball for 5 more seconds. You get fouled, hit your free throws. This shot never happens. We're talking about Duke winning it all at this point. But nope, he throws it up. And we've seen this story before with Furman in Virginia. You never throw the ball up in March Madness. You never, ever throw the ball up. Gets tipped. Braden Mullins hits the clutch three. I mean, it was nothing but net. I haven't seen a shot that just smooth in a minute. I mean, all net from the logo. I mean, it was
incredible.
It was great watch.
It was incredible. And now, Noah, I don't want to take any credit from either of these teams. It was an incredible game. But the conversation all day has been, did UConn win this game? Or did the Duke Blue Devils lose this game? Because Duke only scored 28 points in the second half, but you could also credit that to UConn playing great defense.
Man, I got a lot to talk about because, listen, I gave Duke a lot of love last week.
Yes, you did.
Yes,
I remember. I remember.
I gave Duke a lot of love last week, and I was right about the St. John's game. But listen, UConn was the first game where I was not confident with Duke at all. I mean, I still had them winning, but I was not confident with Duke at all because you're going against Dan Hurley. That's a 2-time champion coach right there.
Arguably one of the better coaches of this generation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, Mullins is an efficient shooter. Caravan is one of the most reliable players in basketball, I think. But
and had a bad shooting night.
I think Duke lost. You're talking about a team that had a 16-point lead. And like my man here mentioned, why were they so scared to take the foul? All they had to do is go to the free throw line, and you go up by 3, maybe 4, and you're off to the Final Four. I don't understand really what the game plan was. It confused me so much on how they lost that game in the final seconds.
I mean this with no disrespect to any of y'all or anything, but can I just say real quick, because the last 3 shows I have said I just do not like this Duke team.
You have. Yep.
No disrespect.
Pat yourself on the back a little bit.
I told you so, man. This Duke team just did not look like themselves some of the last couple tournaments. This Duke team just crushes UConn. But I have loved this UConn team from the middle of the season when we started talking about the men's college basketball coming into March Madness. I love this UConn team. This Duke team just did not look good in this March Madness. Even though they've had some pretty statement wins, it should have been more.
Oh, yeah. And Dan Hurley really just showed everyone why he is one of the best coaches in college basketball. Because this team went down early, and they responded. They continued to battle. They were 1 for 18 from three-point range in the first quarter and kept shooting. They kept playing their game because they know what kind of team they are. They knew that eventually, if they continued to stay within themselves and play their game, they would have an opportunity to win it. And they did. Even in those final seconds, it looked like the game was over after can't remember which UConn player it was after he missed that first free throw. I thought the game was over. I really did. But they responded. They had an opportunity. They continued to battle. And that is what makes this UConn team so deadly. And they have a nice matchup in the Final Four with another red-hot team, the Illinois Fighting Illini, who have one of the more efficient offenses in the sport of basketball. That game is going to be incredible. But I have to talk about the other one because the Michigan Wolverines absolutely dismantled the 6-seeded Tennessee Volunteers 95-27. 95-62 after a 27-point explosion from Yaxel Lindeborg. And that win punched their ticket to the Final Four to take on arguably the other best team in college basketball, the 36-2 Arizona Wildcats, who are coming off of a 79-64 win against the Purdue Boilermakers. Noah, I want to start with you this time. When you look at this matchup between these two 1 seeds, it's an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. These are two teams that have been in the top 5 for the entire season. Who do you think has the advantage and why?
So I just want to start by saying the Natty is actually already been decided. Arizona and Michigan is the real national championship. I'm just going to say that,
bro.
Off the bat.
Just saw Duke lose to UConn. It's never over in this tournament.
This is the real national championship here. I believe Michigan is slightly favored right now on ESPN, and I think they have it correct right there. Now, Arizona and Michigan, these are teams that are basically equal. They have their strong spots in just about anywhere on the court, but I think Michigan, their edge on the interior in the paint, that's what's going to set them over the edge. And this Michigan team, they did not just beat their opponents, they straight up dominated them, like by 15, 20 points every game. And even against like a team like Tennessee, they dismantled them. Tennessee couldn't get anything going. And I think Arizona is definitely going to give them a run for their money. It's not going to be like how it's been this tournament for Michigan. Arizona is going to compete. It's going to be close, but I think Michigan has a slight edge.
And I want to just say how even these two teams are, both averaging 86.5, 87.7, points against 68, 69, both sitting about 50%, 51% from the field. You said it, Richard. These two teams, number one versus number one, this is an insane matchup that could go either way. This is not going to be a cakewalk for either team like they've had this whole tournament. This is like the first time I believe that these two teams are going to have a real big test in this elite Final Four.
It's going to be an incredible matchup. Orlando, who do you feel has an early advantage? Matter of fact, let's scratch that because these teams are so even.
Right.
What are the keys to one of these teams coming away with a victory?
Limiting turnovers. I feel like we're seeing a lot in this tournament. Teams are turning over the ball very, very high. So I feel like the team that can force the most turnovers is probably going to win this game. That's just going to come down to defense. And with that being said, I got Arizona, guys. I had them winning the Natty on my March Madness bracket. I still have them winning the Natty. I mean, that team is complete. They have 5 guys averaging 10-plus points per game. I mean, anybody can go get 30 any given moment. Their interior, they got that 7-footer who's locked down in the paint and can score at will. I mean, Arizona is just a complete team. I got Arizona winning.
It's going to be a great matchup. Obviously, we're going to dive back into it later this week as we get closer and closer to the Final Four games this Saturday. But I do have to look forward to the Elite 8 of the women's tournament as well. We have a big-time matchup between number 1 Texas and number 2 Michigan. The Wolverines are looking to match their men's team and also make it to the Final Four. And then for tonight's late game at 9 p.m., we have always Don Staley's South Carolina Gamecocks, number 1 team in the country. 34-3 overall. Well, 1 seed in this tournament. UConn's number 1 team in the country. 34-3 overall, taking on the 3rd-seeded TCU Horned Frogs, 32-5. We know how this South Carolina team is, y'all. They're a buzzsaw. They are every single year. It's going to take a lot for TCU to get it done, but some think it's a possibility, Orlando. I feel like it kind of goes the same way with the games that you were just talking about a second ago.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Limiting turnovers.
100%. I mean, TCU, they're a solid squad. That is a solid women's team. I was checking them out the other night. They're good. I mean, yeah, they're really good. They have that senior, I forget her name, sorry, but she's tough.
Right.
She's really tough. I think she's supposed to be like top 5 in the draft if she leaves. So I mean, anything can happen, but I've never bet against Dawn Staley. I never get it.
You'd be a fool too. But in order for
Right.
TCU to get it done, they have to limit turnovers and really get aggressive when it comes to offensive and defensive rebounding. Because South Carolina out-rebounds pretty much everyone they play by 9 rebounds a game. Plus 9 rebound advantage every time they walk onto the court. It is incredible because they're a really big team. But like you said, TCU has players that could possibly match up. You just have to forget about the names on the jersey and go out there and play your best game. Now, like I said, we're going to take an even deeper dive into all things March Madness later on this week. But Ryan, we got more sports to talk about. It was opening weekend in the MLB this past weekend, and our Atlanta Braves were in action this past Saturday, taking down the Kansas City Royals 6-0 to improve to 2-0 on opening weekend. I really just want to open up for broad discussion right now, though. Ryan, when you were sitting back watching these beautiful baseball games, eating a hot dog probably because it is America's food, watching America's sport, what team impressed you the most immediately?
Well, I could say Cleveland because I'm from Cleveland.
Well, I mean, shoot,
I do have to shout out one person from Cleveland, though. Chase DeLauder, 4 home runs in 3 games in his MLB regular season debut, which is insane. I mean, they weren't short shots either. But who impressed me the most, even though that, the Braves, they did really well. They had the walk-off grand slam. Mm-hmm. I don't really think anybody really impressed me. I mean, obviously you got the Dodgers.
It is early.
It's so early, but there's so many of these players that just came into the league. I feel like more than usual, all these prospects that, I grew up seeing in college that are now working their way from the minor leagues into the MLB, they finally have hit the big stage of the MLB, especially the White Sox guy, Taka Murakami, played in Japan. Mm-hmm. Last year, hit 3 home runs in 3 games for the White Sox. So I think it's too early to tell that anybody really impressed me, but I'm impressed by single-handedly the prospects that have made their name on this big stage and are finally breaking through to the majors.
No.
I didn't really tune in to opening day of baseball, but I will say my Milwaukee Brewers are 3-0. Yep. Yes, all 3 of their games. All 3 of their games were against the White Sox, but I mean
3-0 is 3-0.
Absolutely.
Orlando, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, I mean, my Yankees went 3-0 against the Giants.
I always forget you're a Yankees fan. You are one of the worst sports fans ever. I just have to point this out. He's a Yankees fan,
Steelers,
a San Antonio Spurs fan, Pittsburgh Steelers, Florida State. Give me a break, bro.
Anyways, I wasn't even gonna talk about the Yankees. I was gonna talk about the Miami Marlins. They went 3-0. I mean, they played I think the Rockies. I think they played the Rockies. But hey, that's games
3-0 is 3-0.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's games they normally lose 1 or 2. But I mean, shout out to the Marlins. Shout out Schrader too. Miami Marlins.
I do have Schrader would be very happy to hear you saying.
Miami Marlins fan. Shout out Schrader.
I do have to say one thing. One team, I take it back. One team that did impress me this year, or this opening weekend, was the Los Angeles Angels.
Okay.
They have been underrated going into this season the whole time. Mike Trout, he deserves to be in the playoffs. He's one of the best outfielders of all time. He showed up and showed out. Hit 2 home runs, 3 home runs in that first couple games against the Astros. Yes, they went 2-2, but everybody expected them to start this season like 0-4, 0-5, 0-6. Right. The Los Angeles Angels have not been good the last couple of years, but I feel I'm going to take probably the hottest take I've ever took in my life, but I think the Los Angeles Angels are going to absolutely turn it around this year, and I think they're going to be top contenders in their standings.
Wow. What a take.
It's interesting that you say that because Mike Trout is one of the greatest baseball players of this generation.
For sure.
But like you said, his teams have not been good. What do you think is so different about this year's team that could lead to them having that level of success?
Prospects. They're finally getting their top prospects that they drafted 2-3 years ago from the minor league system, which are then helping everybody else as a team. They're bonding together. And let me tell you, this team is going to be insane. I think they're going to be insane, but we'll see.
I mean, I'm excited to see it. I mean, it's well overdue. Like you said, Mike Trout is only getting older. He only has so much more time left to play this game. Why not now? Like you said, they've been bad for so long, have so many top prospects sitting there developing in the minor league ranks. It's really now or never for the Angels with their time with Mike Trout. So I like the take, Ryan. Let's see if it actually pans out as this 1,000-game season continues.
162.
To roll on.
Right.
Might as well be 1,000. Pivoting over to the association, the NBA season is starting to wind down as we get closer and closer and closer to the playoffs. Our Atlanta Hawks stay one of the hottest teams in the league. Just had a tough loss to the Boston Celtics a couple nights ago on Friday night, losing 109-102, but then bounced back Saturday, beating the Sacramento Kings 123-113. They have another date with the Celtics tonight, looking to bounce back from that L from a couple days ago. But the Hawks are still one of the better teams in the NBA. Had a great performance against the Celtics, just couldn't bring it home. It's one of the better teams in the East. I was not surprised when I saw the outcome. But I do want to talk about one of the better teams in the West. The Oklahoma City Thunder have been plagued with injury all season, but are still right up there at the top of the Western Conference and arguably the best team in the NBA. We've talked about the East a lot over the past few weeks, but Orlando, when we look at the Western Conference, do you see a team that could really stop the Oklahoma City Thunder from returning to the NBA Finals?
3 words: San Antonio Spurs. Beat them 4-1 in this season series. They're the hottest team right now in the NBA. They're 22-2 in their last 24 games. I think the Spurs can come out the West, to be honest with you. I think that's the only team that could really have a chance with Thunder. I mean, I could see the Lakers, but I mean that would take a lot of like Luka would have to go nuclear. Austin
LeBron
Reeves have to go
Magic.
nuclear. LeBron. Yeah, I mean LeBron. I mean LeBron had to go nuclear. Like it would take the whole team playing absolutely nuclear for them to be the Thunder. I think the Spurs really are the only team in the West that has a chance at beating the Thunder.
I'm going to agree with that. The Spurs have been in a very, very hot streak. You said it. They went 4-1 in the season series against OKC. But I'm just telling you, this OKC team is unstoppable. So I'm going to leave it to one team, the Spurs. But I think even that is going to be a challenge.
So y'all not giving any other teams a chance, only the Spurs here, Noah?
I really do like the Spurs as well, but let's look at the LA Lakers real quick. We talk about Luka Doncic having to go nuclear. Let me read you Luka Doncic's last 10 games for points. 41, 43, 32, 33, 60, 40, 36, 30, 51, 31.
So he's already going nuclear.
This man is
on a
averaging
roll.
40. He's averaging 40.
If you know, you know.
So I'm just saying the LA Lakers are definitely a competitor as well. But if I need a team to trust the most, it definitely would be the Spurs. I mean, Area 51, Wemby, and Stephon Castle,
French
man.
vanilla.
I mean, yeah, I'm honestly not mad at it. These are the teams that are the top 3 seeds. I'm just going to keep moving past that. Those teams that we've mentioned, the Thunder, obviously 1 seed in the West, 59-16 overall. Spurs, only 2.5 games back from that 1 seed. The Lakers, 10.5 games back, but they're right there at the 3. You still have the Denver Nuggets floating around out there. I mean, we know what Nikola Jokic can do at his best. The supporting cast maybe isn't as good as it has been in years past, but they're still a 4 seed in the West. They're still a force to be reckoned with, a very talented squad. But I'm with you all. I really like this Spurs team. Earlier in the season, I thought they might have been a little too young, like it might be a little too early. But we saw the same thing last year with the Thunder. They were a young team as well, and they won the entire thing. If there's going to be a team to do it, it's going to be San Antonio, like you said, Orlando. Despite your fandom, they won the 5-game series 4-1 throughout this season. They have shown to be, earlier in the season especially, they were the Thunder's kryptonite. And they are a very talented young roster looking to really make waves in the playoffs. They're extremely well coached. We know about Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox. I mean, they have scoring up and down this roster. They can kill you from so many different avenues. But the Thunder are ridiculous, guys. I mean, it's not like they've taken a step back. This is still the same Thunder team that won the entire thing last year. So when we're talking about it, I would have taken the answer that nobody can beat the Thunder. I think the Spurs can in the right situation, and maybe if everything comes together for the Lakers. But this Thunder team is for real. And it's very hard to see it a way that it's not them squaring off against the Boston Celtics again come June, early July when the NBA Finals are going on. Because even when you look over at the East, yeah, the Pistons are still sitting at the 1 seed, but Cade Cunningham's health is beginning to get concerning. He's currently dealing with a collapsed lung. He's week to week at this point. A lot of people say this is a good opportunity for the Pistons, though, Ryan, because one of the things about this team has been, if not Cade Cunningham, then who else? But despite not having Cade, they've won 5 of their last 6 games, and other players are starting to step up to the plate.
Yeah, for sure. This team they're really talented. They're young. They've got veterans though. the veterans are helping the young guys get through, if that makes any sense at all.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the veterans are helping these young guys get through, which is making this team better day after day after day, and they're getting stronger, just like a wave coming into the beach. It just gets stronger, 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 and I don't think it's gonna cool off. This team, especially when they get into that playoff territory, it's gonna be fun to watch them play, just because you got the young guys, you got the veterans, you got these guys helping each other out, going hand to hand. I'm excited.
I think a big X factor for the Pistons, honestly, has been Asar Thompson. I mean, you look at his defensive ratings, he should honestly be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I mean, he's been definitely a big contributor for the Pistons this season.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I want to look at Jalen Duren, too. I mean, he's been
Jalen Duren's a beast.
He's been like the real, true, kind of Robin in this situation.
He really has.
Because, no Cade, he has to step up. I mean, I think he's doing that perfectly. He's averaging maybe like 20 over this last couple games. I mean, he's been doing his job. I just want somebody other than those two.
He's just got to stay healthy, man.
Right.
He's too talented to be sitting on the bench.
Health is a big thing for this Pistons squad right now, but like you said, Orlando, somebody else has to step up, and people have been stepping up in this time. It's just about can they maintain this high level of play, especially once Cade returns, and can we get Cade back at full health like we did earlier in the season? If I was the Pistons, obviously, they have the 1 seed right now. They've already clinched a playoff spot. Keep winning, and I would not rush Cade back. I say let him get as healthy as possible. That way he can be as close to 100% as he can for a potential playoff run that they're looking to go on. Now, I'm prolonging this conversation so long because we're getting very close to the playoffs. Like every single day we get closer. Obviously, the Pistons and the Celtics are at the top of the Eastern Conference. But when looking at the rest of the East, is there a team that you all think, kind of similar to what I asked about the Thunder, can usurp these two teams, Ryan? I feel like I already know what direction you're going.
Right, we know he's going to say.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
They're sitting at the 4 seed.
They're sitting at the 4 seed, and they're just getting hot. That's all I'm going to say. They're just getting hot. They're starting to ride the hot hand. You got Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, he's just the guy. But then you got James Harden, veteran. Then you got all your other guys. You got Evan Mobley. I forget if he's still injured or not. He's been up and down this whole year. But when he starts shooting really good, when he gets hot, when James Harden gets hot, when Donovan Mitchell gets hot, when the rest of the guys on the bench get hot, it's Dean Wade, Max Strus just came back, put on an absolute clinic. This Cleveland Cavaliers team is really, really good. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Cleveland fan. This is a solid, fundamental, sound, scrappy Cleveland team.
But the reason that you know this is because you're Cleveland.
Right.
Exactly.
You wouldn't know this any other way. I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to go with the Knicks. I feel like the Knicks haven't really been talked about as we get down to the end of the season. I mean, they're sitting third in the East. I feel like they get the right matchup, they could really be in the conference finals.
They're dangerous.
I'm saying this is like a silent but deadly type of team. I mean, Jalen Brunson averaging 26, Cat averaging 20, a double-double, Mikal Bridges averaging 15, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby. I mean, this is a solid team. I feel like,
and this is a team that was almost in the finals last year.
That's what I'm saying.
It's easy to forget that, but they were extremely talented last year as well.
Exactly. So, I mean, they're just a couple right plays from really being a contender for the finals, I think.
Right. And they beat the same Pistons team last year early in the playoffs to advance. Because I thought last year might have been the Pistons' time to shine, but obviously it wasn't, and that's because this New York Knicks team did it. The same exact New York Knicks team. A lot of people believe this New York Knicks team is better coached this year and more primed for a run than they were in the years past. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all of that plays out. Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to help reduce the 21% of adults with low literacy skills. We're collecting new and gently used books for every UWG pre-K student monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfuwg.com/bookdrive. That is thewolfuwg.com/bookdrive. Now, don't you move, because when we return, we're going to talk a little bit of NFL news, because like I said, the offseason does not really exist. Football is forever. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
The Playbook is your home for West Georgia sports this spring. From University Stadium,
And we saw a very well put together offense that was trailing and going into the half, and then comes out in the third quarter and puts themselves up.
To the Coliseum.
We're finishing well at the rim, being aggressive, being physical. A lot of guys are touching the rock. It's been a great start for the Wolves.
And Cole Field.
I hope West Georgia wins. I'm going to be rooting for West Georgia tomorrow.
The Playbook, live every Monday from 9 to 10 p.m.
April 9th, 2026. Wolfstock, the event of the year.
Bring your friends and family out for fun games, prizes, and most importantly, good music from local artists.
But why trust me? Because my name is Bliss, and I'll be performing at Wolfstock 2026, and I hope to see you there. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Get ready to hit the jackpot. Sports Out of Pocket is back for Season 7. The Lucky Seven's final season with me, Jackson Voles. From wild debates to the boldest takes in the game, Jackson is going all in for his final run. 7 seasons, 1 final spin. Don't miss it. Catch Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
But we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from inside the Coliseum.
Hey, do you like what you're listening to? Well, why don't you support our station by checking out our merch store?
Hoodies, shirts, and hats can be purchased on our website powered by Osier Apparel.
You can also DM us on Instagram at Wolf Sports Network if you would like to recommend any more options.
Go to wolfsportsnetwork.com and click About to view our merch store. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
In the NFL, only one thing matters: chasing a dynasty.
Like I said, football is forever, especially down here in the South. There is always something to talk about in the wild, wild world of the NFL. League meetings are currently taking place right now, and that is when owners and coaches are all pretty much in the same place, getting their affairs in order for this upcoming NFL season, meeting with one another, making sure all their ducks are in a row. And a lot of media members have been in attendance as well, because this is when you can get a nice little inside scoop as what's been going on behind the scenes as we get closer and closer to the NFL draft process. Speaking of, we're going to take a deeper dive into the draft this upcoming Thursday. Don't miss out right here on Sports Pack. But one of the main issues that a lot of people really don't know about this offseason is that the NFL Referees Association has not recently been on the same page with the NFL as a whole. And I'm hearing that negotiations are still very far apart when it comes to fair compensation because, believe it or not, NFL referees are not full-time and they're more like freelance workers. And the contract is set to expire before the NFL season begins, and the NFL is looking to hire replacement refs for the season until they can get these things worked out. Now, the last time something like this happened was the year 2012. And that is historically one of the worst officiated seasons in NFL history. Noah, how do you feel about this issue?
Oh, I know it was. As a Packers fan, I know. I know. Like, if you know, you know. The Fail Mary.
Yep.
But, yeah, it's just, that's not good.
At all. It's a bad look on the league as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we all criticize the refs. I mean, we get good calls, bad calls every game, you know. But at the end of the day, if we have to get down to replacement refs, that's going to be even more of a risk. I mean, for game accuracy, definitely. So
it's really, really unfortunate. That's what I'm going to put it up to. It reminds me of when the MLB went to a blackout because the Players Association couldn't agree with the Owners Association. Right. It killed the MLB for that season, making it only half of what it should have been. It's a really unfortunate situation that the referees I honestly think it's the NFL's fault. They're probably trying to lowball the referees at this point.
Yeah. Right, and the NFL is the wealthiest sports league in the country. Obviously, we're talking about it in the middle of March.
Yeah.
It is the NFL.
Right.
Like I said, it's the wealthiest sports league in the country. And at this point, in order to put the best product on the field, you need to pay your referees. And obviously, if they're asking for $1 million a year, okay, we might have a discussion.
Right.
But they deserve a fair wage so that we can continue to have high-quality sports on the field every Sunday.
Exactly. And they're trying to lowball a thankless job here.
Right.
Like, people got to really understand that.
I mean, yeah, Roger Goodell they need to get together because, I mean, look, we need refs.
Oh, yeah.
We
Need 'em.
refs.
We might hate them if they make a bad
may
call,
hate
but
'em,
we
you know
need
what I'm saying?
them.
We may
Like-
hate them
like,
depending
you know
on who
what-
you're rooting for. You know, they may make some bad calls, but at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes.
Exactly.
It happens.
Like Noah said, it's a thankless job already.
Right.
At least meet them at that point. They're going to get criticized. They're going to get scrutinized. Nobody likes the refs when it's against them. Everybody loves the refs when they're in their
For
favor.
them, right.
So pay the refs what they want so we can get a good product on the field and not have a repeat of the 2012 season. That way Noah can sleep a little better at night as a Green Bay Packer.
please. Give me that at the very least.
Another thing also going on at the league meetings is the A.J. Brown saga is continuing on. Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni was asked about their status with A.J. Brown. His tensions kind of flared throughout last season, and he gave a pretty plain answer. As of right now, A.J. Brown is still a Philadelphia Eagle. That is not the surefire thing. Like the Browns general manager was asked about Myles Garrett. He said firmly that Myles Garrett is not going anywhere, and that he will be a Cleveland Brown for the rest of his career.
Yep, I agree.
Nick Sirianni didn't say anything like that. He kind of left the door open and said, yeah, as we stand today, A.J. Brown is still a Philadelphia Eagle. So a lot of people think that a move is set to happen, especially as we get closer to June 1st, because after June 1st, the salary cap hit for trading A.J. Brown will drop from $40 million to $20 million. So, Orlando, when we're looking at this situation here, what team do you think might get aggressive to try to get this 28-year-old superstar receiver?
New England Patriots, for sure. I mean, they released Stephon Diggs. They have no receivers on the team. No receivers. I mean, they have a whole bunch of wide receiver threes. Matt Collins, they have a whole bunch of receiver threes. Go get A.J. Brown. I think that's what they were missing in that Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah,
Just
definitely.
A.J. Brown. The
They
defense
need another
was there.
playmaker.
The defense was there. I mean, Christian Gonzalez, the defense was locked
They
down.
need another
But they
playmaker.
couldn't get the ball moving on offense. So you get a guy like A.J. Brown, who's going to be the obvious number one target. Drake made year 2 under Mike Vrabel. They're going to be something special. So I think that's a team that should be very aggressive right now.
I agree. I think the New England Patriots, they look. I wasn't expecting what they did last year to actually happen.
Yeah.
Because you go back to the year before that, they were not good.
Oh, they were terrible.
They were terrible. And they go to the Super Bowl. And then we saw in the Super Bowl what they needed. Right. And it is another playmaker, a deep threat, and who better than A.J. Brown?
All right, A.J. Brown will be a perfect fit for the Patriots. I mean, he already has that relationship with Mike Vrabel. It's there. But, Noah, let's not forget, other teams are going to go all in as well. The Baltimore Ravens just picked up Trey Hendrickson. They already showed they were getting aggressive as they tried to pursue Max Crosby. The deal fell through because of health issues. But this Ravens team seems like they're willing to go all in. Why not get Lamar that other weapon, reunite A.J. Brown with Derrick Henry, and try to seal the deal this time?
Yeah, and when we were talking about free agency a few weeks back, Baltimore was a team that I said I was very worried about after that Max Crosby trade fell through. And, I mean, other than Zay Flowers, who else?
There aren't many weapons. I mean, you have Mark Andrews.
Rashad Bateman.
Right. See what I'm saying?
I mean, he's okay. And that's kind of being generous.
All right, so getting a guy like A.J. Brown would really help because now Lamar will have somebody to, 1, be his first read when it comes to dropping back as a passer, and 2, take some pressure off of Zay Flowers. Because Zay Flowers is a very talented wide receiver, but his size limits him. He's not a dynamic wide receiver 1. But if you pair him up with a guy like A.J. Brown who will immediately shift the defense's attention, that is going to open things up for Zay Flowers. You're going to see him winning fantasy football leagues for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the kind of production he's going to be able to have going up against cornerback 2s in the NFL.
Yeah,
So if I'm a team like the Ravens, I'm getting aggressive.
Absolutely. And we saw the Eagles make a move like this when they got A.J. Brown.
Exactly.
That set them over the edge, and that won them, one Super Bowl?
Yeah,
Maybe
they won a Super Bowl.
Two Super Bowls? Or was it just one? Okay.
They beat the Kansas City Chiefs. But that kind of move is what got them over the hump.
Yeah.
So if I'm the Ravens, I think it's the perfect time to make this kind of move, try to get Lamar Jackson what he needs to really take advantage of his prime, and while they still have Derrick Henry on this roster. The defense is going to be what the defense is, but honestly, if the Eagles are non-committal to A.J. Brown long-term, go after him. Be willing to give up some good compensation because you're going all in. You need this. Go ahead and win now. Now, sadly, you all, that's all the time we got for Sports Pack today. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you check us out this coming Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, as we are going to dive into this March Madness tournament, really preview it while also previewing the NFL draft because we are merely weeks away. Now, before I let you go, though, I must remind you one more time that next Thursday April 9th from 6 to 9 p.m., Wolfstock 2026 is back in the Campus Center Ballroom. This is the biggest concert event of the year right here on UWG's campus, and we actually have an artist from Wolfstock currently on the show with us.
I was gonna say there's this guy named DJ Bliss. He's gonna be at Wolfstock, and he is a very good performer. I saw him last year. He was incredible. Y'all should definitely go check him out. It's gonna be great.
Noah, give us a little preview. What should the people expect to see when they come see DJ Bliss at Wolfstock?
So here's the thing. Last year, my goal was to give people a taste of electronic music for Wolfstock, and now I feel like I kind of set that goal. Now I'm kind of going for more of that environment. Like, how many of y'all have been to like a real like rave, like a real nightclub?
I've been to a nightclub or two, but I haven't been to like a rave at a nightclub.
I'm too young. Exactly. So that's kind of the experience I'm trying to give for Wolfstock. I'm trying to give people something new, something fresh, and people get up and dance, man.
DJ Bliss, ladies and gentlemen, get to Wolfstock.
I want a
next
boogie.
Thursday.
I want a boogie.
April 9th. Come on, Ryan.
And show up
today. From 6 to 9 p.m. in the Campus Center Ballroom, Thursday, April 9th. Wolfstock 2026, brought to you by Monster Energy, Westwoods Apartments, Dine West, Flagship Carrollton, Illuminated Productions, and Osier Apparel. We hope to see you there. But until then, we'll catch you this Thursday right here again for Sports Pack. Signing off for Wolf Sports Network, this is Sports Pack.